right, thank you for joining us on another Eye on You episode. Today's show, we're going to be talking about the University of Massachusetts Lowell partnerships with the community. We have a very special guest joining us today, Professor Bob Ferrant and Paulette Renault Karajanis from Lowell Community Health. And also two student reporters joining us. But before we start on talking to Professor Ferrant and Paulette, I would like to take a moment. We're actually going to go back to the university because UML student Michelle Bradley had a chance to catch up with Congressman Martin Meehan to discuss the regional development and his position as, or maybe his position as chancellor.
Hi, I'm Michelle Bradley, and we're here with Congressman Marty Meehan. I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about your recent trip to Iraq and as far as what you would like to do with the experience in Iraq as more of a national, local community efforts.
Well, I think first of all, it's important for members of Congress to visit Iraq, to show support for the men and women who were there, but also to talk to people on the ground and figure out a strategy to get us out of Iraq. I have been to Iraq 3 times, and I think every time I've been there, it's more violence. We need to find a strategy to get American troops home, and that means making sure the Iraqi government is aggressive in terms of training their own people so that they can keep security in their own country. And that's what I hope happens in the end of this. I've developed a white paper with the particulars of my strategy, but we need to do a better job of getting our troops home.
Okay, and from a student's perspective, what would be your message to the students as far as keeping up with the knowledge on war in Iraq and just kind of the general understanding of it?
Well, I'm surprised there isn't more outrage at the incompetence of the way this whole mess has been conducted. So I remember the students across America played a critical role in ending the Vietnam War, and I'd like to see students more engaged and more involved in it. And
like this is definitely
absolutely. I mean, I love to come to the Lowell campus because I'm a graduate, so I'm an alum, and I feel strongly in students here, so that's why I come. But I would like to see students get more involved, get engaged, because I think students can make a difference.
And now, since you're speaking of Lowell and your alum position, since you've been here, can you talk about this recent finalist position and what your plans are should this work out as far as making the university more of a community member and the connections and stuff like that?
Well, number one, I was contacted by a national firm called Korn Ferry, and they asked me, I didn't apply for the position of chancellor, but they had asked me to come and talk to the search committee, which I was happy to do. I mean, I have strong feelings about UMass Lowell, and I talked to them for an hour and a half, and I told them what I thought the university needed and what my vision was. And at the end of the day, they named me a finalist for the position. But in the end, President Jack Wilson will make the decision. I feel passionately about UMass Lowell. I've been able to not only become a member of Congress, but anything that I've accomplished in my life has been the foundation that I got here. So I feel strongly about this campus. I also think that the future of Massachusetts will come through UMass. The future of our region, the economy, how it grows, whether it can grow, whether we create jobs, all has to do with higher education. Now, at the end of the line, I need to meet with President Wilson and find out what his vision is for UMass Lowell, and then to determine whether he feels my skills and talents and leadership ability are what this campus needs. And ultimately, that'll be his decision. And if we get to that point, then then I'll talk to him, and then we'll come in with a vision. But what I want is the best for UMass Lowell in the end.
Great. Thank you so much.
Great.
Thank you very much.
Right now, I want to take the time to introduce to you UML student Ashley Richards. Ashley I understand you're on the dance team, Ashley?
I am.
And your major is?
I'm a liberal arts major, English and psychology, my concentrations.
Okay, terrific.
Thanks.
And then we also have UML student Mary Beth Martin. Mary Beth, I understand you plan on going to graduate school?
Yeah, I plan on attending UMass Boston, their clinical psychology program.
Okay, terrific. There, you people are actually going to be interviewing with me today. And joining us, our special guest is Professor Bob Ferrant from Regional Economic and Social Development Department at the university. Welcome.
Thanks for having us. Thanks for having me, I guess. You can thank yourself.
And then to Bob Ferrant's right, we have Paulette Renault Cara Janis. Did I get that correct?
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
And you're with Lowell Community Health?
I'm the Director of External Relations for Lowell Community Health Center. And I also happen to be a neighbor of Bob's. We both live on the other side of the river. North Campus side.
Okay, awesome. And then I understand that you're on the advisory board also?
Yes, I've actually been on the advisory board since its inception, when it was funded way back when by some HUD funding that the Center for Family Work and Community had. So I've been around on the advisory boards and its different iterations for as long as it's existed.
Okay, terrific.
It is.
I would, actually I'm going to start off the round of questioning here, kind of put Bob Ferrant on the hot seat here.
Good.
And
John Stewart has a hot seat.
Yeah.
So that's good. We'll be cool now, okay.
Could you begin by telling us about the mission of the University of Massachusetts Lowell and how that plays a part in community partnerships and the sustainable development of the region?
About, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago now, the Chancellor, who's since retired, Chancellor Bill Hogan, decided as part of the, before UMass was UMass, it was U Lowell. And it's part of a reorganization in the state of all the higher ed system. This North and South Campus became part of the UMass system, and one of the charges to the campus when it was now part of UMass is to come up with a mission, sort of what its vision was and how it wanted to function as a university. And after a lot of conversation in the university, lots of faculty involved and students at the time, and people came to the conclusion that they wanted to have a mission that included the words that the university should be engaged in the sustainable development of the region and social and economic development of the region. And in order to do that, it couldn't just be rhetoric. There actually had to be ways for the university, for faculty, for staff, for students to be out, not just always on campus in a classroom, but out and about in the world doing real things.
Like the students here on this show.
Absolutely. This is a good example. This is a really good example of exactly that sort of thing. So that the notion was all the education that students are getting needs to be applied in some way to all the problems that every urban center has, and that the Merrimack Valley has, all the jobs that have been lost, the homelessness, all sorts of things that face a big city that's losing its jobs, and all the health issues associated with malnutrition and just you can just name them forever. And so the idea was, it's a public university. It's taking public money. It's taking taxpayer dollars. Why should people sit in a room all day and stare at each other? Why not try to figure out how to apply what's being learned in the world? And so that's where all this came from.
Okay, let's kind of go to the students for a second. Do you have a question, Ashley, that you'd like to?
How do the universities contribute to all this?
Well, in a few ways. One, the committee that I work with, that's putting on the conference that's coming up later in April to talk about all these partnerships, gets a small budget from the university. So we get some money to do activities, to hire graduate students, to do, to work with us, to do research and things like that. In other ways, a lot of it is free in a way, in a sense that faculty put service learning into their classes and put community projects